Hello friends. Now let's start writing the code from scratch. We have seen uh, macro recording. We have seen the code. I have explained the code to you already inside the recorded macro. We have also cleaned up the code. Now uh, here onwards, we will move from VBA to C sharp and we'll stick to C sharp. No more recorded macros. I will tell you, or I will just now will explain you, and we'll do it here itself. We will do writing the code from scratch. Now you have Visual Studio screen, and here I have copied the recorded journal macro code, and from here onwards let's start and let's continue writing the code from scratch. To recall you, this macro that we have recorded, it creates a line using sketch and then uses extrude thin feature to extrude it. Let's now start. I will start off with libraries, importing libraries. Using system, that is the first one we'll use. Using system semicolon. Then we will use using SolidWorks, and I will also use SW constant. These three libraries we will need. Now before I start further, I have used the class library template in Visual Studio, class library template for DLL for C sharp, and I have already added SLDWorks, SW commands and SW constant DLLs. Okay, now this is where we start. I can even go and start from here. Option explicit. Explicit. Okay, option explicit. Okay, let's move on. Okay, sorry. In Visual Studio, we do not need to mention this because it's already set in the settings. I don't need it. Okay, now after this is declared, I will start from the namespace. Namespace is the, you can say, higher type of object where namespace is where we can have several classes. Okay, and then within several classes, we can have several methods. We always start from namespace. Let's start from namespace is all small letters. C sharp is a case sensitive language. If you here S is capital, here S is capital, here also W is capital. If I make a mistake here, instead of W as capital, I write it small, it will throw an error. And when you see this red underline in the Visual Studio, it means your code having an error. And this type of error is called design time error. I will tell you more about the errors later, but C sharp is a case sensitive language. And syntax wise, we always need to have semicolon unless semicolon at the end, unless it is a function, method or class or even namespace. After namespace, I need to give the name to this code. First program. This is what will be my name. And what I will do is I will also use the curly brackets. Okay. After I start from for namespace or a class or a method, I need to have this curly brackets, start of the curly bracket and end of the curly bracket. Now what I write within these curly brackets, it indicates that this is the part of code, or this is the code which is part of namespace. Namespace is declared. Now I will go and declare the class. For writing a class, I need to mention it is public, and then I also need to mention static, then class, because it's going to be a class. Again, it is all small letters, and then name of the class. Here the name of the class is create line and extrude thin. This is the name of my class. Now here we don't need the semicolon because, as I said, for namespace, for class and for methods, we don't write the semicolon at the end. Again here there will be a curly brackets. You need to write this inside curly bracket. Now you that because it's a Visual Studio and it is the popular integrated development environment for writing code, you could say that there is different color automatically gets applied to the text. Okay, and also you could see this is very well formatted. This for first curly brackets are for namespace, the second one are for class, and here I am going to write a method as well, which is the third thing that I am going to do. Here I will just mention at static void main. In this main, I will write M as capital, though it is a name of the method. And inside bracket, string square brackets args bracket complete. And here also I will write the I will provide the curly brackets. This is going to be your structure for writing a program. You will always start with using where you will import libraries, then a namespace declaration, then a class declaration, and then a static void main, which is a main method, which is going to be the entry point for our program. So this is going to be the structure. You need to remember this structure, and when you write the code from scratch, you need to start like this. Now here we will connect our application, our code with SolidWorks application. So what I will do, I will write my comment. For comment, I need to use two forward slashes. Here I will write connect to SolidWorks application. This is a commented line. So when we execute our code, this commented line will not be executed. Then I will go and write SLDworks dot SLDworks, which is the object type. Okay, I am here now doing the declaration. When I do the declaration, this is how it starts. In C sharp, when we declare any variable, then that time first will be the object type itself. Then its name is equals to the value we are going to assign. Okay, new SLDworks brackets and then semicolon. This is what you now, it is actually IntelliSense of a Visual Studio. It recommends us the next thing in our code, but most of the times it's correct, but not always. You need to know this yourself as well. SLDworks brackets. This is how we are going to declare this variable. This is the important variable to start off, because we need to get connect with the SolidWorks object first. Next is, once we connected with the SolidWorks object, next is to connect with the active document. For that, there is a object called model doc2. Now you can see in the interface itself, in the IntelliSense itself, I can see this model doc2. And then model doc2, its name, model doc2, then its name I am going to use as SW model is equals to SWAPP. Now to get this object for the model, I need to get the SolidWorks object first. Okay, so that's why I use SWAPP, which is declared just line above. SWAPP dot, how I get the active document is dot doc, active doc as model doc2. This is the very important two declarations that we need to do. So these two declarations you need to by heart. Okay, you need to remember this, and with these two, then you are able to connect your program with an active document in SolidWorks. Now, right here onwards, it's going to be the custom code based on what exactly kind of automation we are going to do in SolidWorks. Once we write this, we can start off with this part dot extension dot or we can, what we can do is we can first select the front plane and then insert the sketch and then create the line. But we'll pause for here. I don't want to overwhelm you with lot of information in just one video. We'll continue in the next one.